Hello and good evening, Cinema Satsang viewers. How are you doing? Today I'm going to review a Malayalam film called Halal Love Story. Yes, creativity starts from the title itself. You hear this word halal when we think of a chicken, but so the title itself is very interesting. A halal love story. Now this question arises when Rahim Sahab, the person the elderly gentleman who's introduced in the film as a very righteous, ethical, pious Muslim. Well, he's not righteous in a very caricaturish way, let me tell you that. But he wants to do things in a right way. He is an ethical person, which I think all human beings should aspire to be ethical. So Rahim Sahab is already making propaganda videos, documentaries against American imperialism. A person who puts up posters, film posters at night, falls off of his cycle outside his house. He goes and helps the person, and he helps the person stick up the posters. And when he and his wife look at those posters, trashy film posters, B-grade film posters, he decides that they too have a right to watch a good film, a decent film, and which is a halal film. So his mission starts of making a halal love story. Not love story, but love story it becomes later on. So his mission starts to make a halal film. And he is like the EP, you can say that, the executive producer of the film. And the first recruit is the writer Tawfiq. Yes, again a very pious, straightforward, simple man. But he is the first recruit. He is a writer of the film, and he also joins him as, the partner in crime. You can say the two gentle executive producers of the film. Now let me tell you a small thing. In the first 10-15 minutes of the film, two films have been referred to. One is Children of Heaven, Iranian film, and one is Cinema Paradiso. Tawfiq is showing Cinema Paradiso in class. Now, where can this happen? Only in a Malayalam film. So these two then set out on the mission, and before that a lovely song happens, beautiful locations with drone shots, and then these two set out on the mission to make a halal film. So they have to take permission from their art board, which is a difficult thing because they have to take permission from even their higher authorities. So it's a challenge, but they initiate the process. And in the Thanksgiving vote, a gentleman comes up and says, see, there are some things which are right and there are some things which are haram, not right. But some things fall in the grey zone. And that zone, God sees the intentions. So God guide us. So they agree. Cut to God guide us, grey zone, cut to bar. Recruitment of the director. Mind you, they want a director, normal director who drinks and all. They don't want a very quote-unquote pious director. So the director has been associated in several films, and his graph starts off, he is grumpy initially and he is not interested, but they need money. His associate, his assistant, he tells him that we need money, boss. So he comes on board. After the director is appointed, the permission is granted by the higher authorities. See, the main thing is the permission which they have got, which was the most difficult thing to obtain. So the permission has been obtained, and now they will, raise money anyhow. Main thing is, the more important than the money is the permission. So they go to door to arrange the money for the film. But once the director is once the director is recruited, then the casting process starts. And while casting, when they look at the pictures of the television actresses, Rahim and Tawfiq, they get scandalized. So they decide to cast real life actors, much to the dismay of the director. and they need a husband and a wife. So they have to cast now a real couple, a husband and a wife. Cut to the husband will be played by Sharif, who is a street actor, street theatre actor. And he is with this organization, and they do street plays against American imperialism. So now the task is to convince his wife to act in the film, which is Shura, her name is in the film, played by Grace. And after much convincing, all for a good cause, she comes onto board. Now the shooting starts. See, the exciting part of this film is the shooting and how this film explains to the audiences what goes on actually in the making of a film. Of course, it's not an 8.5, it's not a day for night, but they have portrayed filmmaking secrets in a very interesting manner. The first thing is sync sound. तो मजे की बात आती है जब sync sound की बात आती है, और fantastic electrifying cameo by Soubin Shahir, yes, of Kumbalingi Nights, Trance. I have seen his 2 films. So Soubin Shahir as the sync sound recordist, he shouts, he screeches, silence!
Sound silence!
So those who are not aware of the whole shooting process, you know, the simple town folk, they get scandalized, and he wants the whole neighborhood to be quiet.
Cut.
Someone is washing clothes, so the assistant directors run over there and tell the lady to stop making that noise. So she explains to them about ambient sound, that you know, this is part of this village, this part of this life. You have to take in the ambient sound. Ambient sound is completely zero in Hindi films. Zero. They go back and tell him that the lady wants you to capture those. He said, okay, for ambient sound separately we will record 2 minutes. And when that happens, when he records 2 minutes ambient sound, after the shot is over, the camera is shut, then 2 minutes silence, ambience, just everybody stands like a statue. You know, in even students and on shooting floors, in various student projects, even in professional shoots, the light guys, the camera guys, they keep on walking slowly and they keep on talking slowly, and so yeah, very interesting. When he records the ambient sound and 2 elderly gentlemen pass by and say, why is everybody standing like this? Maybe they are playing the national anthem. The sing sound, whole drama is very interesting. In the middle of the film, he leaves the shoot because of innumerable problems. Then another very exciting and interesting thing is when the director gets fed up and he sees that they are not performing well. So an acting coach is got in the film. And another fantastic cameo by Parvati, and she teaches them all kinds of acting exercises. So what I'm trying to say is, in this film, about this Halal film, the director and the writers have introduced creative ways to tell us about the filmmaking process, the sound, the acting, and actors do all kinds of exercises. Earthquake happens, waterfall happens, and finally the director and the writers also tell us about the cinematography department in the climax, which I'm going to come to a little later. So when this acting workshop is happening, the wife, Shura, played by Grace, she shares something intimate, her personal grudge against her husband, and there the conflict of the film starts, and the husband and wife, they are not on talking terms with each other from this point onwards in the film. So what happens next, and what is the conflict all about, and how this conflict gets resolved? For that you have to see the film. Well, what's so special about this film? One thing is the delightful humor which it has. In these troubled times, you would like to see something humorous, albeit it's not crassy or cheap. It's very beautifully done. It's light, funny, delightful, and entertaining, yet at the same time meaningful. I love the way they have introduced the concept of ethics in the film. That whatever we do, we should do it in a ethical manner, halal manner, if you want to say that. And as I told you, they have shown filmmaking aspects in a very creative and simple manner, so that everyone can understand what filmmaking is all about. So it's a simple narrative, but there are a lot of things which they are trying to do and say. Now let me tell you about the climax, not this, which is done in a very. This is my most favorite part of the film. When they show us the role of the cameraman, they are discussing a hug. The Rahim Saab, Tawfiq, and the director, they are discussing whether to have a hug in the film or not. The director wants a hug, otherwise he says that it's all useless, bekar hai, it's worthless, ye cinema nahi hai. And Tawfiq Saab and Rahim said, no, we can't show a hug. So the cameraman is shown from the background. He comes and he says, okay, don't worry, I will resolve the stalemate. I will give you what you want. And then he lights up the scene, and he puts all the lobhar, the dhua, the smoke in the frame. And the light is also, not very bright, and there is smoke. So you can see it and you can't see it. So there comes the role of the cameraman. So the director has also showed, all the technical departments. These are the unsung heroes of a film: the cameraman, the editor, the sound guy. So the cinematographer becomes the star in the end, which is a lovely thing. And the director and the team of writers have written a very ingenious and creative scene. So these are some of the special things of the film. The film is directed by Zakariya, and he has done a very competent job, I must say, and it's also supported by his team of writers. I especially loved two shots in the end, which he takes of two extreme close-ups of the husband and wife. When the fight is getting over, and when they are they are coming close to each other. It's kind of a romantic scene. So the two extreme close-ups which happen at that time. So there you see the director there. You see a director, and of course the locations are beautiful, and there are drone shots. And the film is produced by one of the producers is Aashiq, who has made some wonderful films, Maya Nadi, Virus. Of course, Maya Nadi is there. The review is there on our channel, Cinema Satsang. You must check it out. And now coming to performances. The performances are all very endearing and earnest and sincere performances. Rahim Saab, Tawfiq, of course, wonderful cameos by Soubin, Shahir, and Parvati, and the husband, the protagonist, Sharif, and the director. The person who's playing the director, he has a nice graph. Initially he's grumpy, then he becomes happy in the middle of the film, and then towards the end his emotional side comes, because he's divorced and he's not allowed to meet his young daughter. So he's also played well. But the person who has stolen the show, I feel, is Grace. Played the girl who plays the wife, Shura. She has just performed very nicely and sweetly and brilliantly in the film, from a housewife to becoming an actress, and very subtle transitions, and she's looking also very nice in the film. She was there as a side fiddle in Kumbalangi Nights, but over here she has the main role, and she has done wonderfully well. Well, maybe the only little love story is a little dragging, but it all makes it up in the end. So fantastic film, must watch. Well, the songs are also beautiful. They have a mystical quality in it. one song, Bismillah, it gives a slight Salim Suleiman kind of a feel. Lovely songs, mystical songs with beautiful locations, drone shots, and the background score is also fantastic. Well, the conservatives will love it, the modernists will love it, and the moderates will love it too. Let me close by giving you a scene from a halal scene from this film. The Ghana Bismillah is on the close, is going on. The camera is being rolled, and one nariyal is being purified. It's broken, and then a spot dada, who is a senior person, is told to inaugurate the shoot, to switch on the camera. So another example of a ethical scene from a ethical film. Well, it seems like a simple film, but it tells you a lot, and it does a lot of things in creative ways. So how to keep things simple yet be very creative? If you want to learn more on that, then aspiring students, and even if you just want to learn how to appreciate good films, then please come to our online film school, Cinema Satsang online film school. See you there. And please like, share and subscribe to our channel Cinema Satsang. And most importantly, leave your comments. Write to us what you liked in the film and what you liked in the review, and tell us more snippets. Share with us what snippets you liked in the film. And even if you have any information about the film or films like these, then please do write into us in the comment section. Thank you from Cinema Satsang. God bless.